It marks the beginning of Distracted Driving Awareness Month across the United States. Distracted driving was the cause of 25% of car crash fatalities in 2023. It's according to the National Road Safety Foundation. 12 News' Kyle Spizak has more in the effort to save lives and keep eyes on the road.
Between 11,000 and 13,000 people are killed in car crashes due to distracted driving every year in the United States, according to the National Road Safety Foundation. The month of April is dedicated to raising awareness around distracted driving and getting people to put down the phone while behind the wheel.
Every one of those crashes, every one of those fatalities, every one of those of the tens and of thousands of injuries, many of them lifelong injuries, every one of those could have been prevented if people just paid attention on the road.
Distracted driving doesn't just mean texting and driving. Scrolling social media, taking pictures and videos, and even talking on the phone can be considered distracted driving. And if you're caught texting and driving, you could have your license at risk and face price hikes on your car insurance.
Just a ticket for distracted driving being on your cell phone is 5 points on your license. That's a lot of points on your license. 11 points within 18 months could potentially get your license taken away. And also, having points on your license could possibly increase your insurance.
Both the National Road Safety Foundation and New York State Police suggest having a designated texter if you're driving with passengers.
If you have got somebody else in the car, let them be the designated texter or the designated emailer. We have designated drivers when they may be drinking involved. Well, let's do the same thing with cell phones.
State Police told 12 News there will be increased patrols on the road looking specifically for drivers on their cell phones during the Awareness Month. Kyle Spizak, 12 News, Broome County.